Hey guys, Chris Fix here with another video for everyone. I'm just kidding, it's your boy Slim Hot Wheels, and I'm here with my 1997 Drift Stain. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the best mods to start off with on your car to help make it drift and perform better at the track. Last mod we're going to talk about, I'm actually going to show you guys how to install it and the before and after on my car. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The first mod we're going to be talking about today is actually your welded diff. That's literally the first mod I did to this car, and it helped the car perform way better out on the track. With a welded diff, instead of one wheel spinning, it makes both your wheels spin at the same speed. This helps a lot with braking traction and getting yourself into the drift. Another alternative route you can go is get the limited slip diffs. These are a lot more expensive than just welding, and they can with overtime break, and then you're just going to end up welding it anyways. With just a welded diff, your car is already going to be performing way better than it did stock. The welded diff is by far the first thing you should do to any vehicle if you're going to be drifting it at a track. The next mod we're going to talk about doesn't help for performance, but it does in some ways help you for drifting, and that's the seats. On the 1997 Mustang seats, they are very low and very squishy and do not help you at all when you're sliding back and forth on the track. This makes it very hard to stay focused when the whole time you're sliding around in your seat, trying to stay focused on the track and not crash or break anything. Even if you get cheap aftermarket seats like I have, they may not look pretty and they might not be the most expensive seats you can get out there. Any type of improvement that helps you stay locked into your seat will help you stay focused on the track and you're drifting. The next one we're going to talk about is a very slight but helpful improvement to your performance in your car, and that's the cold air intake. Now, the cold air intake does not give you a crazy amount of horsepower, but it does help your engine breathe and stay cooler. And that helps your car out a lot, especially since you're going to be revving it up and getting the engine really hot when you're doing track laps. Now, the cold air intake is relatively cheap and very easy to install, and I actually noticed a huge improvement with my car once I installed it. First and second gear is probably where I noticed it the most, and that's typically all you really need since that's all you're going to be in, especially if you have a low horsepower car like mine. Another thing you can do to your car, which I wouldn't really consider a mod, is fully stripping your interior.
Okay, I thought you had somebody else in the back seat.
Oh, what the hell? The more weight you can get out of your car and make it as light as possible actually helps a lot out on the track and prevents less body roll. Now, while stripping the interior helps you out on the track with your weight, it does create some other problems like noise and dust, since there's nothing actually protecting that stuff from coming into your car. But like most drift cars, they're not really made to be comfortable or a perfect daily car. They're really meant to get the crap beat out of them and to survive. Another mod that doesn't really help your performance but helps you overall is the aftermarket steering wheel. Now, I already did a full video on the pros and the cons of this, but honestly, to break it down, it's just to help me get in and out of the car and change the overall looks of the interior. Now, with all the mods I've already listed in this video, you're already going to have a huge improvement from when your car was bone stock to now. And honestly, that's all you really need if you want to go the cheapest possibilities on your car to make it perform and drift better. But if you want to go a couple steps further and spend a little bit more money, then we get into the coilovers. And I would like to say with coilovers, they helped the most out of all the other mods I've done to this car. First thing that it really helped with out on the track is my body roll. I had some crazy high suspension and it was really loose, so every time I would drift, you would actually see the whole car lean to whichever side I was drifting on. For drifting, this is not good. You want your car to be locked in and perfectly solid, making those drifts a lot more smooth, and it actually helps a lot with your steering as well. Not only did it get rid of the body roll, it also helped to lower the center of gravity. With most coilovers, you can adjust your ride height, giving it a more performance look and actually giving yourself a better chance on the track to slide since your center of gravity is a lot lower. Now, there are multiple different coilovers you can get. I would honestly say try not to cheap out, but in saying that, I got $500 coilovers, but they are well worth it. These coilovers allowed me to adjust the ride height and the camber on the front end. Camber is the one thing that you see almost all drift cars have, and this helps you with steering and the angle at which you can get to and not rub. Now, I know the next mod for my car is going to be an angle kit, but Even with just the camber that I have, I noticed a slight improvement with my steering and a little bit more angle out at the track. I'll put up a before and after video here, and you guys could see how much my car used to roll when I was drifting to compared to now with the coilovers installed, and how it almost eliminated all of it. Now, this does give you a slight edge, but with the coilovers, honestly, the only bad thing is you are now riding a brick. Any bump that you hit in this car is going to make you almost bounce out of your seat. That's why having good seats is very important. See here in this clip of me just leaving my neighborhood hitting the bump and how much it makes me jump. Now, of all these mods I've listed, these are all the mods I've done to my car currently. And honestly, I don't think you really have to add much more to these cars to make them drift any better. I honestly think with all these mods that I've done to the car are perfectly fine if you just stop there. Obviously, I am not going to stop there. I'm going to be adding more and more mods to this car to make it drift and look completely different. But looking back on this thing when I was drifting it, completely bone stock, compared to now, this is a completely different car. And I'm having so much fun with it, and it's been crazy reliable the whole time. Now with drifting, there's obviously going to be things that you got to fix along the way. I mean, I got this thing so hot the one time doing a burnout that I literally blew my radiator, and I caught my engine on fire because one of my wires was touching my exhaust. And even with that, just changing parts out, putting brand new parts in, or upgrading tiny parts that help keep your engine cooler and running better are huge improvements to keep your car run better and drift better at the track. Now let's get into this last mod. This last mod honestly doesn't really improve too much other than looks. And for my car, it's going to change the look of it a lot. As you guys can see, my front end is so tucked in compared to where the fender is and the edge of the tire is. This doesn't help that I got camber on it now too, which makes it pointed in a little bit more at the top. So to change that, I bought 2-inch spacers that I'm going to be installing here on the Mustang on the front end, and we're going to see what type of difference it makes and the change in the looks. So first thing we'll do is we'll start by jacking up the car and removing the tire. Once that's done, you just take your spacer, put it over your bolts, tighten the nuts that it comes with, make sure you torque them down to recommended specs, put your tire back on, and torque those lug nuts to torque specs. Honestly, I'm surprised at how much this changed the car. Before, with the tires tucked in, it kind of just gave it a weird looking stance, and I didn't really like it that the tire was so tucked in. But now, with the front end being a lot wider than the back end, you're starting to get the look of an actual drift car. Those are some of my cheapest and what I strongly believe to be the first mods you should do to any car to make it drift and perform better at the track. These mods are relatively cheap and you can just work your way up. Like I said, start with the welded diff and you're already going to see a huge improvement just there. Get seats that help keep you in your seat and keep you locked in when you're drifting side to side. Get a cool air intake, it just helps the engine breathe a lot more, and with most cars you will see an improvement on horsepower. Then, when it's all said and done, save up a bit more money and get some crazy nice coilovers, and that will change your car so much and make it look really good. And like I said, all of these mods I have on my car at the moment, and it has helped so much along my journey in drifting. And honestly, I wish I've done these mods sooner. And that's all I got for you guys in today's video. Sorry I haven't been uploading. It's been a crazy start to the year. So much has happened. I got sick really bad for a while there, and then our weather has been back and forth. We did have a couple track days, but it was really hard to film since there wasn't a lot of other people there that I wanted to do content with. But don't you guys worry, I have a lot of exciting content coming out for you guys, and the support on the shorts has been insane. So if you guys are one of my subscribers from my shorts, hello and welcome to my channel. I can't wait to provide you guys with some amazing content this year. And let's continue to grow this channel. Road to 1K. We're almost halfway there. I'll see you guys in the next video. Slim out.